Thoroughbred Action is presented by Hardacre Farm.
Welcome to Thoroughbred Action from Gulfstream Park. I'm Ron Nicoletti. It is New Year's Eve. The fun is just starting. We had 11 races this afternoon. Let's quickly get to those track and weather conditions.
Allendale Beach, Florida continues to be the envy of the country, at least from a weather standpoint. Beautiful weather conditions today with a fast main track, a firm turf course. First of the day over the turf at 1 mile. Claimers in for a price tag of $35,000. We're on the turf here. Scratch 1 and 9. Favorite was the class dropper, number 2, Seattle Treasure. Racing at Gulfstream. Good start for Seattle Treasure and Mota Tan from between horses. Espresso Caliente not far away. Moon Lover comes away in the top flight. He'll land third. Then back to ABG Danny and Josie's Riddle. Two back to the trailer Gunship as they charge into the first turn. Marcos Meneses and Mota Tan have worked to the lead. They lead by almost 2 on Espresso Caliente, who races in second. Seattle Treasure is now third, and the two-path fourth is Moon Lover, followed by Josie's Riddle, who's tucked in down toward the inside. ABG Danny parked on his outside, and Gunship is last as they try to back down the early speed. The opening quarter mile was 23 seconds flat. Into the backstretch they go. Mota Tan, 3 parts of a length. Espresso Caliente in a flanking position in second. Josie's Riddle's going to try to get inside of Seattle Treasure, and Moon Lover now 3 wide. ABG Danny second last, and the trailer is Gunship as they go half a mile from the wire here. Up front, Mota Tan, 3 parts of a length over Espresso Caliente. Seattle Treasure's being guided to the outside, and he starts to launch a bid. He's third, only a length and a half off the lead. Josie's Riddle has inside position from fourth and Gunship. That's all for Moon Lover, and ABG Danny tries to play catch-up from the back as they round the far turn. Up front, Espresso Caliente now works to a narrow lead. Whip is out on Seattle Treasure, 3 wide and up into second. Mota Tan and Josie's Riddle are next, followed by Gunship, and they're at the top of the stretch. Edgar Zayas shakes the reins at Espresso Caliente and asks for more. On the outside in Seattle Treasure, splitting horses is Josie's Riddle with 1/8 of a mile left to go. Espresso Caliente is almost there. Josie's Riddle and Seattle Treasure on the outside. Espresso Caliente, Seattle Treasure one more time. Here's the line, photo finish. That's an inch either way, and it's too tight to call between Espresso Caliente and Seattle Treasure in 1:36 and 4. Close finish to start the day, but in the end it was 5. Espresso Caliente was carried home by jockey Edgar Zayas off the heels of a successful trip across the state yesterday. He gets the first race victory for Ralph Nix and Palm Beach Racing Partnership. 2 Seattle Treasure was second. 7 Josie's Riddle ran well, had to settle for third. To the second race at 7 furlongs, maiden claimers in for a price tag of $12,500. A field of 9. Odds-on favorite was the 1. Third man in. And they're off. GT's Grammy slowly away. Platinum, of course, shuffled back to second last. Good start for XY Runner, and Gasper Latrobe moves with him in the early stages. Down at the inside, the favorite third man in, going to try to find a tracking spot, and he does behind the top pair. Moving up is the comebacker Bazillion Bells to take over third, racing ahead of Home Power, who's now 5th. It's a gap of 3 to Actual Sarava ahead of fullback Foy, then Platinum, of course, and GT's Grammy. Down the backstretch they go. XY Runner on the 2-path, Gasper Latrobe along the rail. They're in lockstep to the half-mile pole. Third man in, watching the action unfold from about 2.5 lengths off the lead. Bazillion Bells has dropped back to 4th ahead of Home Power and fullback Foy. Then 5 to GT's Grammy ahead of Platinum, of course, and Actual Sarava's last. They round the far turn, less than 3/8 of a mile to run, and XY Runner comes away with a narrow lead. That's all for Gasper Latrobe. His third man in is Let Go on the outside. He's up into second with less than 5/16 to run. Bazillion Bells is 4th, fullback Foy driven 5th, and they're at the top of the stretch. The 2 favorites to decide it. Third man in on the outside of XY Runner. XY Runner floats him wide, but third man in is still under very confident handling. Tyler Gaffleone now shakes the reins at him, and third man in is edging away to a 2-length lead. XY Runner is all in and trying to hold on to second, then fullback Foy, but you can't win a horse race any easier than this. Third man in, and never out of second gear. He won it by 2. XY Runner second, fullback Foy third, Bazillion Bells ran 4th. Close for 5th, Gasper Latrobe or Home Power in 1:26 flat. Favorite takes care of business in pretty easy fashion to kick off the early pick 4 as number 1, Third Man In, rolls home under Tyler Gaffleone for trainer Nick Gonzalez and owners Tucci Stable and Martha Gonzalez. Second, 7 XY Runner ahead of 4, fullback Foy, who ran 3rd. Time for a commercial break. When we come back, the Sunday card continues. Don't go away.
Pegasus World Cup Invitational is January 27th at Gulfstream Park, and that weekend we have something new, the Pegasus World Cup Betting Championship. I'm lucky to be joined enough by two guys who will be playing in this tournament, including
Ray Arsenault, defending NEC champion.
And
Hi, Acacia. I'm Ross Gallo. I'm a 13-time NHC qualifier and also a member of the NTRA Players Committee.
we're so excited for it. Join us here at Gulfstream Park. $500,000 expected pool, no entry fee if played on site. This is for the players.
Back now for today's third race at 5.5 furlongs over the main track. Claimers in for a price tag of $6,250. A field of 8 signed on. The favorites included the 2 Bun Bun and the 6 Miss Stalwart. And they're off. Slow getaway for Tuesday's Rose. Good start for Poda. Moving out the rail, Joel's Senorita. Miss Stalwart away in the top flight with He Wears the Crown. Shuffled to 5th is Sassy Slew ahead of Bun Bun. Then Flutie and the trailer, Tuesday's Rose. They pass the half-mile mark and move now to the far turn. Joel's Senorita hounded outside by Poda. He Wears the Crown in a good striking spot at a big price, racing in 3rd. From 4th, it's Sassy Slew. 5th and driven Miss Stalwart. Bun Bun trying to pick it up while wide. A gap of 3 to Flutie, and the trailer is Tuesday's Rose. As they round the far turn. Potential for an upset here at the 5/16 as Poda takes over from fellow long shot He Wears the Crown 2nd. Miss Stalwart is driven in the red. 3rd on the far outside with Sassy Slew and Bun Bun next. That's all for Joel Senorita, and Flutie has been last as they turn in. It's Poda off the turn with the lead. On the far outside, Miss Stalwart continues to charge hard from between horses. He Wears the Crown, then Sassy Slew and Bun Bun. Miss Stalwart now starts to reel in Poda, and Miss Stalwart grinds away to take the lead for Luis Saez, and it will be Miss Stalwart for the Dale Roman Shed Row to win it by 2.5. Tuesday's Rose 2nd, Bun Bun 3rd. He Wears the Crown finish 4th. Drop in class does the daughter of Flatter some good here as number 6, Miss Stalwart, continues at a 1 pace and runs down the pace setters, winning pretty easily in the end under Luis Saez for owner-trainer Dale Romans. It was 3 Tuesday's Rose who closed ground to get 2nd ahead of the 2 Bun Bun, who was even while 3rd. To the 4th race at 6.5 furlongs. Claimers on the main track for a price tag of $12,500. Miguel Vasquez rides the 3 Jamie's Dancer. The favorite was the 1 Milbra. And they're off. Jamie's Dancer was away well. Pure Bliss has speed from the center. On the far outside, Moonlight Salsa was Sherry Angel. Milbra is next toward the rail, and she's trying to keep her spot. She's going to have to tap on the brakes, though, as they head down the backstretch. Cindy's Candy is 2nd last, and Mediterranean Pearl in her South Florida debut is last of all, but not far away, no more than 5 lengths from 1st to last, as Pure Bliss has the lead. Pure Bliss leads by a neck. On the outside, Sherry Angel keeps the pressure on 2nd. Racing in 3rd is Moonlight Salsa. Jamie's Dancer at the inside 4th. Followed 5th by Mediterranean Pearl, who's 3 wide. Milbra's been a handful, no place to go, as Cindy's Candy keeps her boxed in as they round the far turn. On the inside, it's Pure Bliss. On the outside, Sherry Angel. They got a soft opening quarter, and they're less than 3 furlongs from home, well clear of the others, led by a Moonlight Salsa and Cindy's Candy, then Jamie's Dancer. Milbra still trying to find racetrack to work with. Now she's guided 4 wide, and the trailer is Mediterranean Pearl with a 1/4 mile left to go. Sherry Angel on the outside, Pure Bliss boxing on toward the rail. They're 3 lengths clear of the rest, led by Cindy's Candy through a 47 4/2 mile. Jorge Ruiz shakes up Pure Bliss. She has an 1/8 of a mile to find in a 3-length margin. Milbra starts to get to her, and Cindy's Candy between horses. 16th to go. Pure Bliss still there. Time ticking away. Cindy's Candy with a late lunge. Pure Bliss hanging on. 2nd, Cindy's Candy. 3rd was Milbra, and 4th, Moonlight Salsa. Anytime you see jockey Jorge Ruiz and Luca Panici anywhere near the lead, you can rest assured they both have something in the tank. And in the end, Ruiz had something in the tank with number 4, Pure Bliss, who capitalizes on that slow early pace to get the money for owner-trainer Patrick Marcondes. 2, Sydney's Candy fired, but was 2nd best. The 1, Milbra, had a horrendous trip and should be on the list. She ended up 3rd. To the 5th race now and the start of another pick 3 at 6 furlongs. Claimers in for a price tag of $6,250. A field of 9 signed on. The favorite on the drop-in class, number 6, First Distinction. And they're off. Indominus, the first to break the line at the rail, did not mean it, showing speed. Para Vivir has some offense early, and Para Vivir takes the lead. Indominus is second, did not mean it is third. First Distinction is off the speed today. She's taken in hand fourth for Luis Saez, working 4 in front of Beauty of a Day. Then outside and moving up is Came Up Rosie, ahead of Gonna Wanna Wink. The two at the back are Baby I'm Worth It and Don't Tell Vanessa. Past the half mile and moving to the far turn, Para Vivir has company from the big gray Indominus on the outside second. First Distinction trying a new tactic. She's third, 3 wide. At the inside, did not mean it is now fourth, 3 back to the inside and Came Up Rosie ahead of Beauty of a Day. She's scrubbed on by Jose Ortiz, gaining a bit of ground. Well clear of Gonna Wanna Wink and Don't Tell Vanessa. Baby I'm Worth It is last, and Indominus now takes the lead. At the quarter pole, Indominus leads a length and a quarter. First Distinction on the outside. Para Vivir, Beauty of a Day swings 5 wide, did not mean it. Tries to punch between horses with 3/16 to go. The leader is Indominus. She's shaken up with a 2-length margin to work with. On the inside, and Para Vivir down the outside, Beauty of a Day with Did Not Mean It, but Indominus is in the clear and she has no dangers. It's Indominus and Marcos Meneses to spring the upset at 15-1. Second, Did Not Mean It. Third, Para Vivir, then Beauty of a Day, and First Distinction in 112-1. Number 3, Indominus springs a 15-1 upset to start another pick 3 under Marcos Meneses for trainer Dave Casson and Hickory Woods Farm. 1, Did Not Mean It, did everything she could but could only manage second, ahead of the pace setter, the 2, Para Vivir, who ran third. The favorite, First Distinction, tried a new trick. She could not sit off the pace successfully. She finished off the ticket. Time for a commercial break. When we come back, the Rainbow Six sequence, 7-figure territory. Don't go away.
A passion for horses and a commitment to breed champions is the foundation of Hardacre Farm. Founded in 1999 by Amy Tarrant, owner, breeder, and trainer, Hardacre Farm, now based in Ocala, continues its tradition of success. From the Breeders' Cup to Gulfstream Park, Hardacre Farm, from the breeding shed to the racetrack, in pursuit of producing the best.
We have to take care of these horses that, give us so much joy.
Being accredited by the TAA gives us instant credibility.
People trust us even more than they have before because they know that the TAA has been to all of our locations and that our horses are well cared for.
I mean, this farm wouldn't look the way it is, these horses wouldn't look the way they are if it wasn't for the generosity and the hard work of the Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance.
They've united our whole industry in terms of the aftercare movement.
We're all working together for the same purpose.
Back now for race number 6 on the program on turf at 1 mile. It was the start of today's Rainbow Six, and we hit the $1 million mark. A field of 11 on turf here, and the off-time favorites were number 3, Flirty, and number 4, Super Striking. And they're off. She's No Joke was 3 lengths last to begin. Flirty wins the start. Down on her inside is Norma's Hot Dude up to challenge. Away racing in third is Super Striking. She'll back into a tracking position. Then it's a gap of 2 to So Fresh, who's already in a tracking position, and down toward the rail as the leader floats wide. Norma's Hot Dude off the rail at about the 4-path and opens a 3-length lead. Racing in second is Super Striking. On the outside, Flirty is a joint third, alongside So Fresh, who's at the inside. Then it's a length and a half to First Timer Sold at the top, and he's racing well. I'm only about 4.5 lengths off the lead. Racing between horses is Charcuterie. At the inside, Written. Smarty Smart is out 3 wide. Then at the inside is Galileo's Affair in the lime colors and about 7 lengths off the lead. 3 in front of Pure One, and the trailer is She's No Joke. The opening quarter was 23 and 4 as they raced to the final half mile. Norma's Hot Dude and Edgard Zayas 3/4 of a length. Super Striking is second, so on the inside, and So Fresh on the outside. Flirty Sold at the top is racing now 5th, and then out at the inside 6th is Written, trying to run on from about 7 lengths off the lead as they start to sprint. Running on from the back is Pure One. That's all for Galileo's Affair. So Norma's Hot Dude's got him stretched out a bit. She leads a length and a quarter. Super Striking second, So Fresh third, Written 4th. That's all for Flirty, and they're at the top of the stretch. Edgard Zayas trying to do it every step with Norma's Hot Dude, who has something in the tank and leads a length and a half. Super Striking shifted ground. So Fresh up the inside with the late say. Final furlong, Norma's Hot Dude still finding So Fresh up the inside one more time, but they can't get to Norma's Hot Dude. She goes all the way. Second was So Fresh. Third, Super Striking. Running on 4th was Smarty Smart ahead of Pure One. in 137-1.
Upset winner to kick off the Rainbow Six. Number 2, Norma's Hot Dude got the lead and refused to yield, giving Edgar Zayas his second winner of the day. This one for trainer Marcial Navarro and owners JPD Stables. 10 So Fresh tried her but had to settle for second ahead of the 4 Super Striking, who was in striking position but failed to fire in the stretch and had to settle for third. To race number 7 now on the start of the Elite Pick 5 on the turf at 1 1/16. Maidens of the special weight variety scratched the 12 Pendant, a field of 11. The off-time favorites included the 4 Frontier Market and the 1 Playing Hooky.
And they're off. Toward the rail, Playing Hooky begins well up on the outside. Mr. Attila is showing speed. Splitting horses is Shiny Copper Penny to join the top flight. On the far outside, Shades of Night with Electro just to his inside. They're 4 across the course as they race to the first turn. Now make it 5 across as Shiny Copper Penny goes on with Playing Hooky up front. Mr. Attila backs off and drops over to the rail to race in third. Shades of Night the Gray on the outside is 4th. Electro reined back now to run in 5th. A length and a half in front of Arch Daddy, who's mid-flight in 6th. Right on the outside is Uncle Geo 7th alongside Frontier Market. Then down at the inside, that's Administrator, who is 10th. Monetary System is 11th. And 10th and last, or rather 11th and last, is Sport through the opening quarter in 22 and 3. It's Playing Hooky in front by an X. Shiny Copper Penny on the outside, 2nd. Mr. Attila 3rd. Shades of Night is 4th. Electro between horses 5th. Then back to Uncle Geo, who begins to progress outside of Arch Daddy. Followed on the far outside by Monetary System. He's about 7 lengths off the lead. Frontier Market just to his inside. Sport is out of last, and now the trailer is Administrator as they round the far turn. Up front, Playing Hooky leads by an X. Shades of Night launching an attack on the outside, 2nd. Mr. Attila and Uncle Geo 3rd and 4th. Uncle Geo traveling strongly into the race now, 3 wide and on the attack. From behind the speed, Electro tries to get underway with Arch Daddy, and they're at the top of the stretch. Playing Hooky has inside position. Shades of Night to the attack. Uncle Geo let go, and on the far outside, it's Arch Daddy. Sports come from a long way behind. He only has 2.5 to make up, well 5th, with 1/8 of a mile to go. Uncle Geo takes a narrow lead. Arch Daddy runs at him on the outside. Arch Daddy and Uncle Geo and Arch Daddy. Here's the line, Arch Daddy. Arch Daddy and Luis Saez in the shadow of the wire nailed Uncle Geo in 140 and 3.
Tight finish in today's 7th race, but in the end, Luis Saez gets the better end of the deal as he nails Uncle Geo with Arch Daddy, the 6 horse for Shug McGahee and owner Larry Pratt. 7 Uncle Geo ran a winning race, but had to settle for 2nd ahead of the 1 Playing Hooky, who did all the heavy lifting, but I got out-kicked in the final furlong while ending up 3rd. To the 8th race now on the start of the Elite Pick 4 on turf at about 7.5 furlongs. Rider change on 5 Bar Libre to Diego Gomez. Scratch the alternates 13 through 16. These were claimers on turf for $16,000, and the favorite was the 8, Storm and Charlotte.
And they're off. From the far outside, Miss World Venezuela was one of the first to begin. Moving between horses is Bar Libre alongside Little Miss Smarty Pants. On the far outside, She's Dynamite's going to get stuck very wide, at least 6 deep as they circle the first turn. Bar Libre now puts ahead in front of Little Smarty Pants, who's right back at her. Miss World Venezuela and She's Dynamite both have no alternative but to march forward. So the pace duel continues with Little Smarty Pants in front by a neck. 3 wide, She's Dynamite in the 2-path Miss World Venezuela. They've opened 4 on Bar Libre, who backed off to race in 4th. Racing into 5th is Pulled the Goalie. She's about 6 lengths off the quick pace. Down at the rail goes Palango ahead of Storm and Charlotte. The favorite's about 8 lengths off the leader. Then it's the team of Smart Romance and Stay Safe Kitten on her outside. Down at the inside is Channel Surfing improving a bit. On the inside of her is Vineyard Nina, also on a mid-race move for Chamafi, and 3 to the trailer Unspoken. They leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. What was 3 is now 1 as Miss World Venezuela comes away from that early scrum with the advantage by 2. Up on the outside, Pulled the Goalie. Now traveling into 2nd, running on big time is Vineyard Nina, but she's going to need some place to go. Chamafi trying to hold her together without losing the momentum as they run past the quarter-mile pole. Pulled the Goalie on the outside, now up for the lead. Vineyard Nina slipped into the clear, and now she's under a full head of steam again. Back to 3rd in Miss World Venezuela. From 4th, that's Palango. Final furlong, Pulled the Goalie, strong with a 2.5 length lead. Vineyard Nina, time ticking away. Timing's running out. Time has run out. Pulled the Goalie all the way. 2nd. Vineyard Nina got close for 3rd between the favorite Storm and Charlotte and Palango, and 129 and 4.
Jockey Jose Lescano rides the Gulfstream Park turf course very well as he puts Pulled the Goalie into the clear to get first run on everybody else. She kicked on for the victory for owner-trainer Daniel Vella. 3, Vineyard Nina. Good trip on by Chamafi for the upset possibility. She just ran out of racetrack. She was second ahead of the 1 Palongo, who ran third. To the 9th race now on turf at a mile and a 16th, an allowance optional claiming event. Scratch number 8, Panzer Barcelona. A field of 9. Favorites included the 1, Flashy Chelsea, and the 6, Tacit. And they're off. From the outside, Annihilator is being sent to try to get the early lead from 1 Go All Go, so the 2 outside horses work over to the inside in the run to the first turn. They're followed by a cluster including Blue Harbor and Chunnel, and between horses War Stroll. Backing off was Flashy Chelsea to race 4th last, 3rd last Camp Courage, 2nd last Weekend Express, and at the back of the group, the early trailer here is Tacit. Around the first turn they go, and up top, the leader now 1 Go All Go, 3 parts of a length. Annihilator is there, second from third. War Stroll from the inside. Channel takes over 4th on Blue Harbor on the outside. Then it's a length and a half to Flashy Chelsea, racing ahead of Weekend Express and Camp Courage, and Tacit and John Velasquez trail the field, and they're about 10 lengths off the lead behind an opening quarter mile of 23 and 1. 1 Go All Go leads the way for Chris Landeros, a length and a quarter. Annihilator is second on the outside, and third is War Stroll. Then down at the inside, it's Chunnel. On his outside is Blue Harbor. Then back to Flashy Chelsea. Running on a bit now, Tacit from the back with Camp Courage and Weekend Express just in front of him as they swing around the far turn. It's been a pretty stiff tempo as they went a 46 4/2 mile and a 12-1. 1 Go All Go committed for home now, and he leads it by 2. Racing in second is Annihilator toward the inside. Chunnel. Weakening next is War Stroll on the outside. Then back to Blue Harbor looking for horses running on. There just aren't any, at least not right now. After 3 quarters and 1:10 3, they straighten for home. 1 Go All Go has an 1/8 of a mile more to get. One more time, Annihilator takes a crack at him. Late run down the center from Tacit. Final 1/16 of a mile. Tacit's really rolling. Does he have enough time? Of course he does. John Velasquez is on board, and Tacit goes from last to first to win in a great ride in 1:40 3. Gulfstream Park's championship meeting has long been the winter home of the nation's best jockeys, and one of those jockeys is John Velasquez, who puts on a riding clinic in today's 9th race, allowing Tacit to sit far back in the early stages. He was last turning for home, but Johnny V knew what he had underneath him, and the son of Tapit unleashed a furious rally in the center of the course to get the victory for Michael Matz and Augustin Stable. Time for a commercial break. The late daily double. We move back to the main track with allowance horses right after this.
Crossing the finish line for the last time can mean an uncertain future for many horses. Recognizing the need for a dignified retirement, the racing industry has made racehorse aftercare a top priority. In partnership with Gulfstream Park and the Florida Horsemen's Association, Florida Track provides retraining and adoption services for retired racehorses. Thanks to their efforts, the end of a racing career can signal the beginning of a new career. In show jumping, trail riding, police work, even therapy for children and veterans. However, good intentions do not come without cost. As a nonprofit organization, Florida Track relies on tax-deductible donations and volunteers to help pay for feed, training, housing, and veterinary care. To find out how you can help, contact Florida Track today. Your support will go a long way towards a new beginning.
Back now for race number 10 on the program at 1 mile over the main track, an allowance race for a $60,000 purse. Scratch the 1 Iconic, rider change on 4 General Obvious to Jose Lascano. Favorites included 6 Talk Logistics and 7 Zap, Zap, Zap. And they're off. The favorite Talk Logistics was bounced around slightly at the beginning. From the outside, Zap, Zap, Zap wins the break with Red Crescent alongside. Flemish Cap is not far away. And taken in hand is Talk Logistics. He's guided to mid-flight, and he's racing about 3 lengths off the lead. Then Class 1 down toward the rail ahead of General Obvious, who works 3 in front of Big Dollar Bill, and the early trailer is Prince Tito. They leave the chute and head down the backstretch, and down inside, it's Class 1 and Julien Leparoux poke through to put ahead in front, right alongside Flemish Cap through a 25-second ordinary opening quarter. Zap, Zap, Zap is third, while 3 wide ahead of Red Crescent, then Talk Logistics with General Obvious at the rail. 3 back to Big Dollar Bill, and the trailer is Prince Tito. He's at least a dozen off the lead as they go to the half-mile mark.
Up front, the leader is Class 1, 3 parts of length with half a mile to go. They went a 48-1 second quarter half mile, so a 23-1 second quarter. 3 wide is Zap 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 in third. Down at the inside, General Obvious is fourth. Castellano will need to find clear racetrack for Talk Logistics. He's in range, 3 lengths off the lead, but completely buried in traffic. From the outside, Big Dollar Bill getting started for Chris Landeros, and Prince Tito is underway. He's last of all, but he's only about 7.5 off the lead now with a quarter of a mile left to go. Up front now, the leader is Flemish Cap, 3 parts of a length, Zap Zap Zap, and fully stretched, and Talk Logistics tries to work between horses from the back. Big Dollar Bill is in high gear for Chris Landeros and cut loose now to try to get to Flemish Cap. Flemish Cap has the lead. Big Dollar Bill ducks to the inside for a late say. Big Dollar Bill and Flemish Cap. Flemish Cap still there. Flemish Cap is hanging on. Big Dollar Bill made a big move but had to settle for second ahead of Talk Logistics third. Zap, Zap, Zap ran fourth. And runners away. From the center, Little Toe gets the first call, moving between horses. Sourdough is up to challenge. At the rail, Finished is taken in hand by Gaffleone. He'll sit third. Following fourth is Calcer to race only about 4 lengths off the lead. Then back to Gunnison and Jailhouse Kitten, who's in the 2-path. They're followed a length and a half behind by Lascaux, who's down toward the inside with Sensational Sam, and at the back of the field is the Robert as they race around the first turn. Up front, the leader, Sourdough, by a length. Little Toe on the outside is second. Backing off third is Finished. Racing fourth is Calcer. Then Jailhouse Kitten at the inside next goes Gunnison, a length and a half in front of the team of Sensational Sam, who's down toward the inside, and the Robert, who's on his outside. And the trailer now is Lascaux to the opening quarter mile in 24-3. Up front, the leader remains Sourdough, and Chris Landeros 3 parts in front of Little Toe second. Finished is third, and watching the action unfold, Calcer in the blue colors is racing from fourth. Then down inside it's Gunnison with Jailhouse Kitten in the 2-path. Sensational Sam is third last. The Robert is second last, and Lascaux is last of all as they swing to the far turn. Up front, Sourdough by a neck, Little Toe alongside second. Finished is third. Calcer on the outside is now fourth. Gunnison is fifth. Sensational Sam picking it up toward the inside of Jailhouse Kitten. The Robert is 3 wide, and Lascaux is still last, and Sourdough is still first. To the top of the stretch after 3 quarters in 1:14-1 at 8-5. Sourdough has the lead. On the outside and Finished, getting into the clear for an opportunity. Calcer on the stand side also running home. Sensational Sam is at the inside. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go. Sourdough still strong up front. Sourdough by 3.5. Calcer is second. Lascaux coming out on the outside, but the winner is Sourdough. Sourdough won it by 3.5. Close for second between Lascaux and Calcer in 1:43-2.
And that wraps up the New Year's Eve action. Remember, right here at beautiful Gulfstream Park on New Year's Day, 11 exciting races, a 12 p.m. post, and Happy New Year from all of us to all of you.
Hit the hay. I've been working all day. Hit the hay. What do you say? Hit the hay. Hit the hay. Well, I'm tired. Let me tell you, Jack, I'm so tired.